Hey everyone, it's Divine Bliss Twin Flame Union with Shannon, Lynn. So we're starting our second vlog here today. We did our first one yesterday, and that was all about bringing forward the creation series of materials, which are divinely channeled works of art that I have been channeling for the past 14 and a half years. Now, we started off with a little bit of information on, who I am and sort of how I got into the channeling and what led me to where. So that's a really interesting video you're going to want to check out if you haven't seen it yet. What I want to do today is to get a little bit further on into the books Helpmate from Above and Archangels from Above, From This Life to the Next, A Message from Your Angels, to bring forth further information and guidance from within these books that the angelic realm want to bring forward for all of us to live and to thrive from within. So these are just like, these were like the starting books that sort of brought me forward in my life out of a very dark time that I was experiencing in my life. And so these books are being brought forward as helpmates for others. And if you really want to know more about them, check out my first blog, because it explains much deeper and we go into the actual introduction of these books. So you're going to want to check out that video. And we also do, from within these vlogs, we do channel card readings as well, where I actually do a channeled message, or I put my thoughts to the side and take dictation on what the cards are all about, or what the divine wants to bring forward for all of us in our own spiritual growth here. And it's all about taking everything within and discerning from there, from within you, as to what is right and true for you from within you. So, it really is our own individual journeys. Yes, we do have other, passageways or ways to go through and on down, and can get help from others, spiritual teachers or authors or different, we're all here as teachers and we're all here as students. So, but the biggest thing about all of that is to take it all within, whatever that you're wanting to expand on into or to grow on into, to research those things, to seek and to search, but also to take those materials then within and to discern and decipher from there, really, as to what is right and true for you at any given point in time. Because sometimes we just may not be ready for the lessons or for the learning that we, the growth that may come from within some of these materials or others materials that are, being brought forth for you. You may just not be ready for it yet. I know there was when I first started channeling, for instance, I was saying in the first vlog that I was, doing cleansings and clearings and things before I started the channeling, that I thought were really woo-woo and kind of, weird for me, but I opened up and stepped on into it. So, sometimes you're just on the verge of stepping up and on into something. You just have to open yourself up and on into it, and to see and then feel from within you what is right and true for you. So it's all about expanding on into more of what you're interested in, where you want to expand on into, what you want to learn about. Like I said in the last vlog, whether it's about, just any different kind of, astral travel or whatever, that you seek and search, because in seeking and searching within for these things, we're then brought forward on into them in our outer world, to then seek and search from within there, and to also take within and to decipher and discern from there as well. So that's just a little bit of, background or whatever on how, some of these materials came through for me and what has brought me to the here and now in my life. And so what the divine wanted me to express in this certain vlog was to first let you know that I am a Sylvia Brown board certified master hypnotherapist, that I do have a Udemy course as well on past life regressions, which is called Manifesting to Your Truest Desires, where we go into the cleansings and clearings. I explain what hypnosis is not. And then we, after the cleansings and the clearings and the chakra clearing and balancing, we actually go into the past life regressions, where you're able to let go and experience a past life regression for yourself. So if you want to check out that course, it's on Udemy or Udemy. I'm not sure how you pronounce that properly, but Udemy, and it's Manifesting to Your True Heart's Desires Master Course. So that's just a little bit of background into who I am or what I do. And to then they said, let's pick a card deck because we're going to do a channel card reading. So let's pick a card deck from here. And I almost feel like messages from your angels and the life purpose cards are where they want to go into. So I'm going to grab both decks. Normally it's just one deck. So I'm going to grab both of these decks and we're going to just put them to the side for a little bit later. And we're going to do a channeled oracle card reading at the end where I actually put my thoughts to the side and get dictation. Like the books came in, they started 3 or 4 words at a time, like dictation. And then they became more fluid over the years as I, graduated on into more and more and more from within all of this and, put in the time and put in the effort. There's many, many, many hours, as I was saying in the first vlog, that went into all of the books and the workbooks and the programs and the audios and the videos and the worksheets and all of these things. But to also know as well that, we're all capable of all of these things. It's just a matter of, like I said, what we want to expand on into and what we want to spend our time, learning and growing on into as well. So none of us are more special than any other in any areas of our lives. We've just sometimes had that projected onto us, or we've projected that onto ourselves. That we're not good enough or whatever, and that's just all a bunch of hogwash. Everyone is worthy as everyone else to be, do, and have whatever you desire in this lifetime. It's all a matter of stepping up and on into it all, as only we each individually can here. And so that's all I'm going to say about all that. And I just want to, get right on into the materials here. We're going to go right in. Like I said, if you want to know a little bit more about the introduction of these materials, go into vlog number 1 and check it out because there's quite an extensive introduction. So the first 2 lines, as I explained in the first vlog, that came through the book was, it all started way back when I was a little girl. I had deep brown eyes and jet black hair. I knew little about this world except the fact that I was in it. Life was blissful when I was growing up, and I had few to no worries. Today is another story. I'm a grown woman with children, and I love them dearly. They give me the strength I need to go on, and if it weren't for them, life would be much harder, and I know it. So then it went on to say, I never thought that life would be this hard. Times are much different than when I was just a little girl. Now I have many things to do with my time. I take care of my children and have many other chores to do daily. What this leaves me with is little time for myself. I'm not complaining though, because as Oprah always says, it is the toughest job in the world. And we all know that Oprah is right about so many things. She is a being of true value and was sent to this earth to help so many people with their talents. She truly is a woman of strength and conviction. So many are learning from her the right way to live, and she will continue to grow in strength and love. They continued on, I am writing this book today to help Oprah spread the word. No one on this earth should be trying to control another. It is selfish and unloving to make someone be whom you would like them to be. Everyone is their own person and should be whom they need to be. No one deserves to be suffocated in their own skin. It is unnatural and undeserving. I am here today to help the world to see that this is an act not of love, but of selfishness and bitterness. Not towards the person it is intended for, but towards the person closest to them. What they are really mad at is themselves. They cannot stand that they are not perfect in every way, and they mirror that perfection onto the closest being to them, which is of course their spouse, who is there day in and day out without conviction, and who stands by their side when times are tough. And let's face it, it doesn't get any tougher than this. I've been there and I know firsthand the hell that a person goes through to endure such a battle. I lived through it, and I'm here to show the world that anyone can live through it and survive. You may think at this time that it is impossible, but it is far from impossible. In fact, it is very possible. And if you help me to guide you, I will show you the way out of it and into the light of day. All you need is a little help and encouragement, and you will succeed. Trust me, and I will give you the tools you need to dig your way out of the depths of which you now call your life. It can be done. Don't be skeptical. I have been shown the way, and now you can too. Let me help you as others have helped me. Now I can tell you from a place of knowing and from a place of experience that these true tools are very much true. Because like I was saying in the first vlog as well, again, that, I've been through this myself. I have been through all of these things that were brought forward here for me and for the betterment of all, to and through me, for all of us, all of you and me, myself as well. So they went on to say, the first tool you will need is confidence. Confidence in yourself and in your abilities as a unique individual with a similar problem to millions of others in this world. Don't ever think that you are alone in this problem. It truly is an epidemic. You will receive the confidence you need when you least expect it, but you have asked for it. When you can no longer go on as you are, and you truly are in need of help, all you have to do is ask, and you shall be answered. We, the angels, are here for you. All you have to do is ask, and we shall be here to guide you, just as we have so many others. And so as you travel along this journey, this pathway of life from within this all, and as you sometimes reach, like I did, these, what I consider to be like, I guess the epitome of unsuccessful, or a place in my life that I'm, not so proud of being from within, or the hubs of hell that I had led myself into by just, letting it happen, letting myself be led into that, letting myself be led into the belief systems that, I wasn't good enough, I wasn't worthy, something, where my belief systems plummeted to the belief that, my self-confidence, my self-worth was somewhere where it should never be, if not for myself or anyone else. And I really did need to dig myself out of the depths of despair in which I had led myself into through others, yes, and also through my own thought processes of, believing in the things that others were telling me about myself that were such untruths, that were so untrue that, if I had listened to my interior guidance system within, and I had, felt worthy and known of my worthiness from within me, that I was, better than I thought myself to be or believed myself to be, that I could have come up and out of this so much faster and easier had I only known who I was from deep within me and what I could become from deep within me had I only listened to my true self soul's, happenings of, or to my own source within, as to what is right and true for me from within me. Had I listened, had I gone within for these knowings, believings, of worthiness and of this belief system, this changed belief system that came to be from within these books and these tools that brought me forward in my life here now as this better human being here, to now be coming forth here to and for all of you as well from within all of these materials and these works of art, because of the belief systems that have changed from within me, that I've grown up and on into just so much more from within, because I have taken it all within and mulled upon it all, and then, stepped up and on into just so much more from within all of this, or all of these materials, to become the person that I am here today, to have this belief system within me, that is, of high self-worth and high self-esteem and high self-confidence in myself, to now bring forward, all of these true materials here now for you in the livings of all of these things from within me, that I can now be, of help instead of hindrance to myself and others, because now I come from a belief system or a place of knowing that we are all here as one, and we are all here to be and do here for one another in this giving and in this taking of, in this processings of just so much more, and of who we really and truly are from deep within us, these spiritual beings that we're coming forth as, and on into just so much more from within all of this, and to change these belief systems to one of lack, to come forward as this blissful communicator, or this blissful way of living, or a ways of beingnesses that then begin to produce or to bring into their own true lives these sources of information, guidance, love, abundances of just so much more in their own true lives, in our own true lives, in your own true lives, that will then come forward to help you and to greet you upon your own true passageways here, as you continue to come on into your own here now, and to step up and on into your own true power here, as these true power source couples here as well. If you are from within the twin flame collective, coming up on into unions here as well from within all of this. So just do know that, this is all a process, and these teachings are processings from within this process of life, these ways of beingnesses that are now being brought forward here to and through me for all of you, and myself as well here, so that I can continue on my own pathways here and my own journey here as well from within all of this, and to continue on here to bring this all on forth, this self-confidence, this self-worth, this beingnesses of just so much more, because we are these power sources, we are these beingnesses of just so much more from within each of us. Once we take this on and we begin in the steppings of just so much more, and we expand on into just so much more from within all of this, all of these teachings and all of these ways of beingnesses that we are being brought forth on into, so that we can then spread the word to bring this forth on into just so much more to and for the betterment of all others in this world here now today, and for the always, to bring forth this new and improved, better world for all of us to live and to thrive from within, which just means to leave that place of lack, those belief systems of lack behind, and to bring forth only true abundances in our lives, in all of our lives, for everyone on this earth and always, so that we're all living these lives of true abundance, and there's no more scarcity and lack because of these belief systems that we have grown up and on into, or we have processed from within, or were subconsciously programmed to believe from within us, that are now being conditioned and reprogrammed in a much different, better way, or better ways of beingnesses that can then come forward for the each and the all of us to bring us up on into just so much more from within all of this, all of these materials, all of these ways of beingnesses, all of these productions of our own true selves, souls, processings of. And so just to know that as I'm continuing here to talk and to bring this all forward for you all, that I am being channeled through here as well from within all of this to bring forward this information for you all in the processings of just so much more in each of our own true lives here. So just to know that as we bring forth all of these true materials here now and always, that we are coming from a divine source, not unlike your very own selves, they're saying through me at this very point in time, because I am not unlike all of you out there. I am living this same life or lives that you're all here living as well. We're just living different ways of beingnesses at each and every given moment in time in our lives, but we're being projected on forward out into just so much more from within all of this as we each take these processings, there's these ways of beingnesses on out, up, and on into just so much more, because we are wanting to and desirous of to bring this on forward into our own true lives here, as or in the processings of just so much more from within all of this here as well. So just to know that we are bringing this all on forth to and for the betterment of the alls, and to and for the betterment of all of us from within all of these materials here as well. Which just means that each and every one of us individually as a whole here will begin upon our own true journeys, as each and every one of us wishes and wants and desires to here as well. And not until or if when that comes to be, which just means that we each are on our own individual processes or processings of, as we each individually want to or are desirous of, which just means that through and from within free will choices here, it is from within our own free will choices that we decide when, if, or if ever we want to go on forward or go on through and up and on into just so much more from within all of this, all of these materials or these ways of beingnesses of. And so, it really is each our own individual processes or processings of, as we each individually decide to be, to do, to have from within this all. It is from within our own free will choices that all of these come to be from within. Okay, so I'm just going to continue on here a little bit more. Okay, so they want to just jump forward. They just want to jump on forward a little bit more, and we're going to go into the 7th tool. So there's first tool, second tool. First tool we need is that you will need is confidence. They talk about. The second tool you will need is love. The third tool you will be looking for is the acts of kindness. We're going to jump up and on into the 7th tool is gratitude. Gratitude for all that is possible in this life. We must thank God and ourselves and others so that all things may be possible. Do not let negative shortcomings of others hail the way. Do not let your own beliefs stop you from becoming all that you are intended to be. Become who you were intended to become. The next step in your journey towards the light is a courageous one, but it must be taken. Do not hold back. Jump in and test the waters if you must, but do not hold back. This step is crucial to your recovery. We will be there to guide you each and every step of the way. Do not look back. There is only forward from here. You will soon see the light of day if you just believe in yourself and your capabilities. It is a leap of faith into the unknown and the undiscovered depths of your own soul. We will be with you all the way, so there is no need to be afraid, because you will never be alone, for we are always there with you. Believe in us, and we will show you the right way out of the darkness. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and we are here for you. Make no doubt of it. Continue to ask for loving support, and you shall receive it. Continue to be who you were intended to be, and you will be all that you are needed to be. Believe, just believe. That is all that we ask of you, is that you believe in yourself and in others the way that we believe in you. Now, the gratitude tool for me has been a blessing or a life-saving tool here as well, simply because the more that we are coming from that place of gratitude or that place of, self-love and gratitude for ourselves and all others, the more that we project that on out into the world, the more that comes back to greet us. It's that give and take thing. It's that way or ways of beingnesses in which others then, project themselves back on to us as we are, giving and receiving, from within the co-exchange of all of that. And so, I think what they're just trying to say here is just that, this is an important tool from within all of our lives here, that if we express this state of gratitude and we stay in this state of gratitude and we become this state of gratitude, all that we become is attracted back to us in those same exacting ways, because all that we become in this lifetime comes to be from within us this same attraction or ways of beingness back at us, which just means that what we manifest from within us comes back to greet us in those same exacting ways. Or we are in the manifestations of just so much more as we continue on in this gratefulness or these ways of gratitude, or these ways of beingnesses that bring forth gratitude or gratefulness, or sometimes the lack of this gratitude or this gratefulness will then bring forward for us, more of that or less of what we want in our lives because we are not grateful for what we already have. And so if we can stay in that, you know, that non-place of lack of gratitude, or that non-simplistic way of being not enough. We don't want to stay there, because if we're feeling not enough and we're not grateful for what we already have and are being as, then it's really hard to step up and on into just so much more from within your own true life here as well. Because if you are not already being enough, or already having as, or from within this all as enough, then how do you supposed to project that on out into others, and to have that then projected back on to and through and for you from within this, you know, manifestation phase, or these ways of beingnesses of, which are true projections back to us from within us as we show up as, or as we come forward as, or from within this as. So just to know that as we step up and on into just so much more from within this state of gratitude, that we then project back onto us these things to be grateful for. And so we're bringing forth this state of gratitude to bring forth then for all of us, for, you know, intentionally, sometimes unintentionally, but intentionally to bring forward, hopefully intentionally, to bring forward to and for all of us from within all of these states of gratitude, which then project onto others, which then comes back on and at us from within all of this projecting, these projections of, comes forward as true gifts, you know, instead of encumbrances. It comes forward as true gifts, or like they're saying, encumbrances of love, or ways of beingnesses that are not necessarily, you know, good for you. Because if you're staying in that state of lack, or not enough, or not ready for more to come forward to and for you, then how are you going to be showing up as just so much more? And how are you going to be projecting yourself on forward as just so much more if you are not feeling worthy from within you here firstly? So just know that we're all worthy to be, do, and have whatever we want in this lifetime. And gratitude, to come forth from a place of gratitude, is to bring it on forward just all that much faster from within our own true lives here as well. And to bring forth the feelings of gratitude, to bring that on forward just that much faster here as well. Because those feelings from within gratitude bring forward, or usher forward, these ways of beingness. It's like when you put, you know, your foot on the gas pedal, it just brings it forward for you just that much faster, that much quicker on into your own true lives here, as these magic manifestor magicians that we each individually here are being as, or are being asked to step up and on into from within all of these works, or these materials, these divine materials that are coming forth here now to and for the betterment of the alls, but also to and for the betterment of the United Kingdom, I'm hearing here as well. Because as we project ourselves on into just so much more from within our own true lives here, we are also helping them from within their own true lives there as well, which then just mirrors this perfection on back to them and through them for us here as well, which then brings further gifts of love, further ways of beingness, further ways of expansion, expanding on into just so much more from within this equal exchange of give and take, these ways of beingnesses which are coming forward to and for the betterment of the alls, and to and for the betterment of this whole world, this world as a whole, for all of us to live and to thrive from within. Not just us, our own selves, our own true self souls individually, but to and for the betterment of the alls, from within all of the nations and all of the worlds, here, there, and everywhere, in the projections of just so much more from within all of this. We are being brought forward in the projections of, which just means that as we project ourselves on forward into just so much more, and we're going to learn a lot more about that, they're saying, that we then come up and on into our owns like no one's business, because we each are our own individual processors. We each are our own individual truth, lights, and ways from within each of us here now and always then. And we will become all that we are projecting on into once we realize that we are the projectors of and or the manifestors, the manifestations of just so much more from within all of this, or all of these true materials that are being brought forward or coming on forward here to and through me for all of you, each of us as a whole here, as a collective being, or ways of beingnesses, which are then just being projected on into just so much more from within all of this, or all of these ways of beingnesses, which will then come forward to and for the betterment of everyone, every single one, every single person individually as a whole here will come up and on into just so much more from within all of this. Once they each individually decide to do so and take the steps from within them individually, as only we each individually can and will and do and have as from within all of this, as only we each individually step up and on into just so much more from within this being and doing as, or from within this as, which just means that, again, our free will choice tells us or shows us or brings forward from within us all that we do desire here from within all of this, but only if and when we each individually decide to do so. Like I'm getting like period exclamation point. So, okay. I think that's where we're going to end this vlog, this particular vlog here today. We don't want to, have them go too long. But I hope you guys expanded on into so much more from within this particular vlog here as well. I know I always expand every time that I'm learning more and new and not always new stuff, because I have, channeled all of this stuff for the past 14 and a half years, but some of the stuff that does come through is all new to me too. But I'm always being told that we're just here relearning, or we know these things, because when you take all of this from within you, you will resonate with it. It will resonate for you as what is right and true for you. And so you will just be relearning these materials to then step up and on into just so much more from within your own true beingnesses of all of this. So now I want to get into the channeled oracle card reading here and just see what messages the divine has for us. We're going to start with the messages from your angels. Now, this is, I was telling you about in the first vlog, how the channeling all began for me. And it was from the book by Doreen Virtue, Messages from Your Angels. And that book really is what started me on my own spiritual journey here, and really started me on the channeling, because I did the cleansings and clearings from within her book there, which I found out later on down the road as I stepped on into the life as a spiritual hypnotherapist, as I studied down in California through Sylvia Brown. I came to discover through all of my channeling and all of my hypnotherapy work, I came to discover that these cleansings and clearings, this chakra clearing and balancing, all of these cleansings and clearings, this etheric cord cutting and vacuuming, all of these things were clearing the roadways so that I could have easier access to divine materials, and the divine would have easier access to me. And I was told that I raised my vibrational frequency high enough to also receive the messages. So it's all in stepping up on into who you truly are and opening up on into all of this to receive these divine gifts of beingnesses that we each all are here to be, to do, and to have from within. It's just dependent upon, where we, I guess it's almost like project our desires upon what we want to expand or open up and on into, is where we step up and on into and become so much more from within. So I hope this is all making sense to you all. And here's another thing. Over the years, some of the stuff that would come in the teachings, I would be like blown away, or I would be like, what was that? But the more that I expanded into it and read into it and mulled upon it all, it started to make more and more sense. It became clearer and clearer and clearer for me. And so it was just so easy then for me to understand where this was all going, or where it was all, coming to be from within me as. But at first it was not like that always. They would use words in some of the writing and some of the channeling in the books and the all of the materials, that I had no idea what the words were. And so they would use them in, in this particular sentence. And so I would have to go and Google it later to define what is the definition of this word. And I would come back and I would go, wow, there was not a more perfect word that they could have used in that sentence to explain exactly what they wanted to explain there. And so these were huge validations for me that all of this, these channelings and all of these processings and works of art were coming from a divine place, because I had no idea what some of the words even were. And so for someone to say to me, well, are you sure that might not just be, your subconscious mind or whatever, bringing forth these passageways or these books or whatever, I can tell you right now, there's no possible way on God's green earth that I could have become who I am today, that I could have brought forward all of these materials that have been brought forward, because I had no idea about any or all of these materials before they came through me to then be lived by me, to come out the other side of where I am right now today. So just I guess where I'm going with this is, if you don't understand everything right away, don't worry about it, because it comes to be. You come to the place of knowing and clarity from within all of these divine works of art, because I myself, as I was channeling it, many times had no idea what they were talking about until I really took it all within and I mulled upon it all, and I came, to that place of better understanding, to that place of knowing, as I expanded on into it and as I grew on into the knowings of all of these materials. So don't worry. All I'm saying is, don't worry if you don't completely understand everything. If it's resonating from within you as true for you at any given time and place, that just means that these messages are for you. And so to take them in and to mull upon it all, to help you to grow up and on into just so much more from within your own true lives and your own true processings of, in these ways of beingnesses, which just means these different ways of beingnesses, like self-confidence, like self-love, all of these different ways of beingnesses, we sometimes through our subconscious programmings are coming from and have learned to have this belief system of lack or scarcity, or I'm not good enough, or my self-esteem is in the tank, my self-confidence sucks, all of these things have come from within our subconscious processings or programmings of. And what we're here to be and do is to take you out of that, to progress you on forward out of that and on into whom you really and truly are from deep within you, which is your own God self within, which is never nothing of lack or scarcity or not love or not self-esteem, not self-confidence. All of these things you already are. You're just coming back on into whom you really and truly are from deep within you, your own God self within. And so these are the tools and the processings and the ways of beingnesses and the works of art that have come through me, and for all of you. And I can tell you from a place of experience how these things have worked for me and how I have graduated on into this place of peace from within myself and from within all of these seeming failures of my life that I've gone through that, at many times felt so broken through, but now have come out the other side in the realization of, I wouldn't be who I am today had I not learned through those experiences of lack or scarcity or all of these different ways of beingnesses that I've gone through from within all of these books and these works of art, these divine works of art that I have taken within and mulled upon and stepped up and on into and through all of this and have come out the other side a much better individual and a much better spiritual being, a much better person, that I can now come from a place of love and compassion and self-love and have grown on into this place of peaceful bliss where, there's very little in life that can get me down or that can come down upon me that I can't see as a benefit for me, because I look at these things from a place of no longer lack thereof, but as spiritual processings or ways that are bringing me up and on into just so much more from within these looks of adversity, or ways that seemed like failures, like, struggling businesses that I've gone through, different, there's just so many things, and we're going to get into it all, but there's just so many things that I could tell you about that have been seeming failures in my life that have actually propelled me to become who I am today. And so in those seeming failures, I would not have become the person I am today had I not failed at those things, because I would be back there doing those things that I was succeeding at there. But that is not who I was here to become. So who I was here to become is that person that has been propelled forward from within those seeming failures on into who I am here today, to be being and doing here as I am here for you right now. So that's all I want to say about that for today. So let's get right into the card reading. So I'm asking, the angels, the guides, Mother Goddess, and her special band of angelic helpers from within the kingdom of the heavens, because that is who I've been channeling over the years, Archangel Michael and the Archangels. And I always ask Archangel Michael to please watch over this session and watch over these readings and watch over everything that I bring forward to and for the betterment of the alls, so that it is of the highest vibrational frequency to and for the betterment of the alls. And so I always ask to be guided and, to put ego to the side and to just get the channel messages that we each need individually as a whole here that will help propel us all forward in being just so much more from within our own individual lives here, to come out the other side, not only whole beings of love and light, true love and light for the alls, but, to become just that much more in whom we were always meant to be here as, or to be here being and doing and having as, which just means that as we become these magic manifestor magicians, we then are graduating up and on into just so much more, as I've said so many times before, into these master manifestor magicians. And so, I'm just here to bring us all forward on into all of that. Not me, but the divine, in their working, through me for all of us to bring us forward on into just so much more from within us all. And so, that's all I'm asking is for whatever we need at any given time and place from within this all, what we need individually as a whole to propel us forward from within our own true lives here, to bring us up and on into just so much more for the betterment of the world, to create this new and improved, better world for all of us to live and to thrive. Because I no longer wanted to live in a place of scarcity and lack. And I no longer want to see other people living in this place of scarcity and lack. We should all be living in abundance, because through the works of art, these materials, I've been told many, many, many times, God, Mother God, Father God is abundance. We are true abundance because we are gods. We need to come to this place of realization and knowings from within each of us that we are these gods from within each of us. We are a piece of the Godhead, our God selves from within us, and we are coming forward as this. And I know that some of this sounds a little too religious, and I'm not a religious person, but I'm a very spiritual person because of this whole spiritual journey and practice that I've been on and through to come to this side. So many times I am not willing or wanting to bring forward what I feel is a preachy type of teaching or processings out for all of you, simply because, those were triggers for me, huge triggers for me, because of the way I was raised. Not that I was raised to be a stout Catholic, because I wasn't. I was raised to, be open to whatever was available out there. But at the same time, I did go to a Catholic school. So I did learn that Catholic system of thinking or thought processes of. And although I do agree with some of, the Catholics' beliefs, there are many things that I do not believe in. For instance, I'm just going to give you one here. What really, really triggered me was a realization that, I had to go through a priest to confess my sins or to talk to God. And it was like, seriously? What makes that priest any better than I am? Why can't I just talk to God myself? And so there was different things that just didn't resonate with me, that I couldn't, I'm glad I couldn't buy into that. I didn't want to buy into that because it didn't feel right from within me. And so just to know, again, it's always about going within and feeling as to what is right and true for you, from within each of us individually. So So I'm going to take a drink. I need a drink of tea here. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so we're going to just start with our cards here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to divvy out these life purpose cards here as well. These also are by Doreen Virtue, which I didn't realize. They're both by Doreen Virtue. I have a lot of different card decks back there, so I just asked to be guided, you know, to whatever different card decks they want to bring forward for whatever messages they want to bring forward for the each and the all of us as a true twin flame collective. And also here, just to and for the betterment of the alls, because I do believe the creation series of materials are not only here for the true twin flame collective, but are also here to and for the betterment of the alls. It is just that the twin flame collective is here to step up and to stand up for all of this here right now, as we all expand up and on into just so much more, as each of these individuals are awakening up and on into just so much more, and ascending up and on into just so much more. And so we are here as you know, like support systems, and we are here as teachers and guides and helpers and students. You know, we're here being and doing as all of it. We all each are individually as a whole here. And so for us to just keep expanding, keep stepping up and on into, and keep working on your own true self and your own true selves, soul's processings of, because if you ever want to come on into union as a true twin flame collective, then what you firstly need to do is to work on yourself and your own belief systems and your own ways of beingness, so that you can then step up and on into just so much more to be of that equal equivalent, or that equal vibrational frequency as your true twin flame is here as well. And so just do know that, you know, that is part of the process. Part of the processings is for each of us individually to come up and on into our owns, to then graduate up and on into just so much more from within this true twin flame union here as well. So it's all about working on your own true self, soul's processings of, and stepping up and on into your own true self from within each of us individually as a whole, to come up and on into that as this united power couple. So it's not to, you know, so many people believe that, you know, it's just a fairy tale. There's no work to be done. You know, it's all about, well, if my twin flame would just buck up and come and talk to me and this and that and everything else. Many times there's work that needs to be done before the twin flame couple comes together as a true twin flame couple. For instance, I'm thinking of my own soul's processings of, I think to myself, you know, had I gotten together with my twin many, many years ago, would I have become the person I am today? Would I have channeled all of these books and modules and, you know, videos and audios and worksheets and all of these things that have come, and children's books and all different things that have come forward from within all of these teachings here now, the whole of the creation series? Would I have become this channel? Would I have become who I am here today? Would I be here talking and teaching here on this platform here, this YouTube platform right now? Would I be doing all of this? And I think, no, probably not. You know, probably not, because I would have been, you know, living this more, what I consider more of a normal life, you know, had I, you know, met that perfect individual and, you know, got married and settled down and raised kids and, you know, lived that life, which sometimes I feel, wow, wouldn't that have been a nice, easy pathway to go down? But, you know, everybody's pathway is individual. And so just to go on about your own individually. And so if you are a twin flame, I guess what I'm getting to is, if you are a true twin flame, don't worry about the union. And I know that's hard to do, but after 30 years, I can tell you that you will not come up and on into your own. You may not that you will not, you may not come up and on into your own as you would individually here, as your own true source first. So whether you come together young and stay together, or whether you come together and part and you know, come together later on in life, or however that comes forward for you is the way it was meant to be, simply because you are meant to become and whom you are meant to become as from within all of this. And there is never anything wrong. There's never anything wrong in life. Things have not gone wrong. They have not gone awry. That just means that, you know, if you are going through or have gone through these seeming failures, they are just ways to show you how to get back on track to what you are and who you are meant to be and do and become as from within all of this as. And so, you know, they're just ways to show you back to your true self, soul's happenings of, or processings of, or ways of beingnesses of, to step up and on into just so much more from within your own true life here. That's the easiest way that I can explain it. And I've heard Oprah, and I've heard Wayne Dyer, and I've heard Eckhart Tolle, and I've heard all of these different spiritual teachers bring forth these ways of beingnesses, or these ways to step up and on into your own true self, soul's processings of, or whom you are really meant to be, do, and become as from within this as, in their own individual ways. So they're all bringing forth the same materials, but I'm hearing these in different ways. So just do know that, like I was saying before, in this blog or the blog before, we don't all resonate with every author, with every spiritual teacher. Some we resonate more with than others, or some we will understand at different times in our lives. We might understand Oprah here, but we didn't understand Eckhart Tolle until here, and we don't understand Wayne Dyer until here, and we might not understand the creation series of materials until later down the road, or we might understand it all right now. There's nothing wrong with any of it. It just means that you each are on your own individual journeys here, as we all are, as Eckhart is, as Oprah is, you know, as I am. So as we are all stepping up and coming up on into our owns, as only we each individually can, we will come to these knowings and these believings and these beings and these doings and these havings of, as we are stepping up and on into each and all of this, to and for ourselves, but also to and for the betterment of the alls always. Because that's what's most important of all, is that this is for the whole of the alls, but never at the expense of yourselves as well. So to take others into consideration, but never at the expense of yourselves, nor others as well. So, okay, so the first card that came through was Indriel, and I'm just going to read the cards quick. You are a light worker. God needs you to shine your divine light and love like an angel upon the earth and all of its inhabitants. So I'm just going to ask what this is all about. So, as you each individually come up and on into your owns here, as these individual true processors, or in the processings of just so much more from within your own individual lives here, you then are being brought forward up and on into just so much more from within this, or these ways of escapes. I'm hearing these escapees, these ways of beingnesses, which then escape the broad spectrum of ways of beingnesses, which no longer serve the person you've become. So you are dropping on forth or on into just so much more from within these droppings of, or these droppings off of. So just do know that as you're stepping up and on into just so much more as this true light worker, or this true source of light from within all of these processings, or these ways of beingnesses of, you then are letting go of all that which no longer serves the person you are, or have become from within this all, or from within all of this. The next card was Aurora. You are flying high right now, which may threaten others, but don't descend, because others will soon become inspired by your example. So as you are becoming your own true self, soul's processings of, or in the processings of your own true self, soul's happenings of, or ways of beingnesses of, you are then being projected or brought on forward up and on into just so much more from within these projections, or these ways of beingnesses, or these steppings of ways of beingnesses, which just means that as you step up and on into just so much more from within your own truth, or your own true light of the Lord from within you, you then are and or will be like flying high over and above these processes or processings in which you have then come down and upon, which just means that as you have come down and upon each of them and settled in from within all of this, or these teachings, or these ways of beingnesses, you then have projected yourselves on forward, up and on into just so much more from within these projections of, or have saved these sequences of events in true creation manifestation to let go of that which no longer serves the person that you were and or have become, simply because you are now projecting on into just so much more from within your own true lives here as well, from within all of this, or all of these ways of beingnesses. So just do know that as you rise up and on into just so much more, many of you may not like this, or may not be here for you in or from within these ways of beingnesses that you have now here stepped up and on into, to and for yourselves from within all of this, but also here to and for the betterment of the alls, but will not be appreciated or will not be thought of as great or greatness, simply because some are not there yet. Some have not projected their own true selves, souls, or themselves on into just so much more from within all of this, or all of these materials, that they will not understand here yet just what you are here being and doing and having as, or from within this as. But just remember that you are a true projection of what you are here being as, or doing as, or being brought forward on into as. And so you will be bringing forward, or bringing back onto you from within this as, just so much more from within your own each individual unique lives here from within this as. And so just do know, as you step up and on into just so much more in these projections of that you then bring forward on into your own true lives here then as well, these abundances of here as well, which then shows each of them just how you can be, do, and have as from within this, as this true living example or examples of. So just do know that as you step up and on into just so much more, you will then be projecting yourselves on into just so much more, and bringing those others up and on into just so much more from within all of this, or all of these projections of, simply because they will be seeing these ways of beingnesses change from within you here as well then. And so this was or were the ways that it was always meant to be here as. And so just do know that you are doing nothing wrong in coming forward as this much more your very own true self, soul's processings of, or these ways of beingnesses of, simply because you are here being more and doing more as a shining example of more. I'm hearing like being here as this, or in this as. Okay, so Rosetta is the next card here. You have a gift for working with young people, and your divine purpose involves helping, teaching, or parenting children. Again, I'm just going to ask what messages they have for all of us. I'm hearing like, okay, Shannon. So here's where we show the each and the all of you just what it is to work from within these confines, or these ways of beingnesses, which you have then projected yourselves up and on into just so much more from within all of these processings of, or those processings of, or as in these excesses of, or these ways of beingnesses of, which then project you on into just so much more, and then bring forward back onto you just so much more from within all of these projections of, which just means that as you step up and on into just so much more, then this is being projected back on into and for you from within all of this, or all of these materials from within all of this, to and for the betterment of the alls, which just means that as you are showing up as, you are being and doing here as well, which just means that you are showing all others as this true spiritual being, or these ways of being with beingnesses, which then convert or bring them on forward up and on into just so much more from within all of these true processings or ways of beingness is here as well then. So just do know that these projections of will then bring forward these seekers of here as well. So from within this search and seek mission then, they will come up and on into their own true owns here as well from within all of these processings or these ways of beingnesses of here as well. I'm hearing dear Shannon. Okay, so just do know that we're all here for a reason. And these reasons are coming forward to and for the betterment of all of us here today. And we are being projected on up and into just so much more so that we can then project this back onto others so that they too can become just that much more from within all of this process or these processings of here as well. Okay, Caressa? You are at the end of a cycle in your life. Call upon your angels to comfort you and to guide you to your next step. Happiness awaits you now. Okay, so now we're going to go on much further into the creation series of materials here now. Just by bringing forth here for the each and the all of you as this or in this as, which just means that as you process or progress on through all of these teachings or these materials of, and you step up and on into just so much more from within this true life or light source of beingness or ways of beingnesses of this true light source. You then are being projected on into just so much more from within this whole process by being here as this shining example. And as this shining example, you are being asked to then project on into the world as just so much more here as well as this true shining example of your own true ways of beingnesses, which just means that as you project your own true self, soul's happenings of, or ways of source, or ways of beingnesses of, in which you are this shining example, or coming forth as this shining example, as only you each individually can here be being and or doing as, or from within this as, which just means that as you also do step up here as this true spiritual teacher or ways of beingnesses of, that you too are here as the truth, the light, and the ways from within each of you individually as a whole here as well, from within this twin flame collective or this twin flame collective unions of, from within all of this as. So just do know that you are here for a reason, that you are here to teach and to reach and to bring forward all of these true materials to and for the betterment of the alls here as well, from within all of these true ways of beingnesses and teachings of these true ways of beingnesses, which then are being projected up and on into just so much more from within you, from deep within you all here as this or in this as, which will then come forward as only you each individually can be, do, and have here as from within you, which just means that all of you will be projected on forward from within each of you as you are your own individually processed way of being, which just means that as you each are individually processed in these ways of beingnesses for you each individually as a whole here, you then will know, just know from deep within you what is right and true for you each individually to come forth as, or to be here being and or doing as here as well as these true twin flame teachers, or in the processings of as these true twin flame teachers here as well, they're saying. So, Fiona, now that you've asked the angels for help, be open to receiving divine guidance and assistance. You deserve heaven's help. Again, I'm just asking for guidance for us. They're saying. So step up and on into just so much more from within your own each unique individual interior guidance systems, they're saying. Because that is where the truth, the light, and the ways from within each of you will reside from, and will show you the ways to your own true trespasses within you from, or within these ways of beingnesses, or these ways that you will come forth to and for the betterment of the alls. But not only that, but you are becoming that already here. And so that which you become, you then just are. So in that becoming, you then just be. And in these beings of, or these beings and or doings of, as of, or from within this as or of, which just means that as you step up and on into your owns from within these own projections of, or your own ways of beingnesses of, you are then being projected up and on into your very own productions of, or your own ways of beingness, which will then come forth from within you as, or from within this whole process as, or from within this. You will learn the true ways of the West from within the each of you here, as only you each individually can from deep within the each of you, as or in this as, simply because you each are your own truth, lights, and ways from within you, but also you are here being, doing, and having as from within all of this as these true twin flame teachers and or manifestations of, or manifestors in and of from within all of this, which just means that as you begin to manifest from within you as this true master manifestor magician, well then look out, because you will be here being and or doing as your best self, your true self soul's processings of. And when you are being and doing that as this or in this as, well then look out world, because you will be here being and or doing as your true self soul's best self, and in the happenings of just so much more from within your own true lives here as well, as you step up and on into your own true careers here as well from within all of this, as we bring all of this on forward to and for the betterment of the alls from within all of these teachings here as well then. So just do know that these will be at different access points all around the world where these teachings will come forward from within the each and the all of you as, or from within this as. And so just do know that as these come forward from within the each of you, from within all of this, that you are being projected on into just so much more, so that you can have these then being brought forward back on into your own true lives here, as well as these projections of, or in these projections of as well. And you will always have this support system behind you, bringing you on into the light of you, bringing you on into the true light of your own dreams here as this individual processor, or in these individual processings of. And this card says your life purpose fully supports you. And so as you step up and on into your own true lives, soul's happenings of, you then are being directly and divinely guided from within the each of you here as just so much more from within these divinely guided processings of, or in these reachings of, from within these materials here then now as well. And you will be divinely and directly guided from within the each of you as to what, who, where, when, and why, and how you are going to be bringing these all on forward from within the each of you here as well. You will know from deep within you what is right and true for the each of you here now and for the always then. Like period, exclamation point. That means they're done. Family. Loving your friends and family is central to your life purpose. Okay, so your life purpose brings you closer to the person or the being whom resides within you as, which just means that as you are being this true life purpose being, or in whom you are now projecting yourself as, or in this as, you then are being projected on back to you and through you here as well, here to and for the betterment of all others here as well. And so as you continue to step on forward from within your own true life purpose here, or your own true pathways here to and through the light of the Lord from within the each of you here, you then will know the truth, the light, and the ways from within you on how, what, who, where, when, and why, or all of these ways of beingnesses in which you then are being projected not only on into, but will be being projected on forward as here as well. And to know, I'm hearing, okay, and to know that your true family of friends where it resides within, which just means that as you step up and on into just so much more from within all of this, you will see different people possibly running or dropping out of your pathways or out of your true life here, which just means that as you expand or open up on into the true life of your dreams here, that many others may not understand your own true processings or ways of beingnesses in which you are expanding up and on into, that they may fall away from within your own true life or lives here as well, which just means that your own true soul family will be the ones projecting on into you as just so much more, which just means that they will see you as just so much more and be here with and for you as just so much more from within all of this here as well. So to just know that what you are stepping up and on into is the ways of beingness, or the ways that it was always meant to be, to do and to have, and those things that no longer serve you, or these people, places, things that no longer serve you, will be dropping off and away, so that these better people, places, and things that are here to serve you and the person that you are becoming or are here having as or in this as are stepping up and on into your own true lives here as well, from within all of these your own true processings of, or these ways of beingnesses of, which just then project you on just that much more, or just that much more on forward into your own true lives here, because you are now being projected on forward. You are not being stifled on backwards from within this all. So they're no longer a part or a piece of your life simply because they were not wanting for you what is best for you to become or to have from within this as. And so you will know from within each of you what is true and right and here for you as a whole, individually as a whole. So to trust your inner instincts, your inner core values, your ways of beingness, or in the ways in which you have now come forward to and for the betterment of the alls, your own true self soul's happenings of, but not only happenings of, but your own true self soul's self-love or loves of. Okay, animals. You understand animals and communicate with them intuitively. Trust your inner guidance, as the animals are a part of your life's work. So what I'm feeling here is that many of you will be coming up and on into everyone will be coming up and on into their own true life's work from deep within you as whom you are meant to be here, being and doing as. But also, some of you will be communicators. Some of you will be animal communicators. You will be guides. You will be, different things in different areas of life here. So I'm just going to ask for the channeling on this. So you are here being as much more than communicators here to and for the betterment of the all. You're also stepping up and on forward from within all of this as animal communicators here as well, which just means that you are here being and doing here for the betterment of the alls, which just means not only like the people here as well, but you are here for all others here from within this all as well from within this, which just means that you are stepping on forward up and on into just so much more from within your own each individual processings of. And you will know from deep within you as to what and who is right and true for you from deep within you as you project yourselves on forward into just so much more from within all of these environmentalism or environmentalistic ways of beingnesses, or in these ways that come forward to and for the betterment of the alls, but not only that, but that show all others here as well, to and from within their own true self soul's happenings of or processings of just what is right and true here for them as well. And so from within all of this, or all of these happenings, all of these different ways of beingnesses, the right ways of beingnesses are coming forward from within all of these teachings or these ways of beingnesses, which then help the whole of the worlds here as well from within all of this. And that means from within the divine angelic animal kingdom or kingdoms here as well, they're saying. Okay, speaker. Your life purpose involves your skills of oration. So as you begin upon your own true journeys here and you begin to journey on down into just so much more from within you, you will find that these processings of, or these ways of beingnesses of, may take you on down into things, spiral you on down into things that you feel are no longer serving you or the person you've become, simply because they are here to show you one end of the spectrum, so that you now then are here being and doing and having as from within the other area or end of the spectrum here as well. So to just know that these happenings of, or these ways of beingnesses of, are coming forward or forth for you, so that you can simply see them and place them where they need to be, so that you can then project yourselves on forward into just so much more, which just means that you can see yourself as where you were or are, but now are beginning to expand on into just so much more from within this seeing of, or these beings of, or these ways of beingnesses of, which then expand you on into just so much more from within all of this, or all of these processings of here as well. And then you will be able to speak your truth just that much clearer and stronger here then as well, simply because you will have now been there, done that, to now be on the other end of the spectrum. You will have now learned the true ways of the West, the true ways of beingnesses, which have then propelled you on forward into just so much more from within your own true lives here as well, in and of, or in the ways of beingnesses in which you have gone on through, down and upon, and stepped up and on into just so much more from within. From within here, as I'm hearing. Okay, books. This is our last card. This has been a pretty long reading, I think, here. I hope you all have stayed around for this all with me here. We're just going to go into our last card here, books. You connect to your life purpose through your involvement with books. So I'm hearing, so many of you are becoming, or are going to be in the becomings of, these true authors or these ways of beingness, simply because you will have experienced one end of the spectrum to have come on down and upon and up and on into just so much more from within this experience, or these experiences of, which have then propelled you on up into just so much more. And now you are coming from a place of knowing, being there, and done that here as well, which just means that as you have propelled yourself on forward up and into just so much more, you then are now seeing things from a much greater perspective or vantage point, at which you now then can see, be, do, and have from within. And you are now teaching or projecting that on out to others here as well from within all of these teachings, or these ways of beingnesses here now as well from within all of this, simply because you will have already been there, done that, and are now on the other end of the spectrum here, showing up as, or from within this as this true light being, this true light source from within each of us as this, or in this as. So just to continue on stepping up and on into just so much more, as you are intuitively and directly and divinely guided up and on into as this being of light, or this light source beings of, from within all of this. Okay, awesome. I hope everybody has enjoyed this. I wanted to call it a podcast, but they're calling it vlogs. Enjoyed this second vlog, and let me know in the comments what you feel about the vlogs. If you're learning some different things that you may not have been clear on before, things that you're wanting to know about or learn about, that the divine communication can maybe bring forward some clarity for yourselves on and from within, for the divine twin flame collective, but not only the twin flame collective, but also tune for the betterment of the alls here as well. And if you're enjoying these vlogs, to definitely like and subscribe. And in subscribing, you'll be getting the latest vlogs or videos or whatever comes forward, the channelings of from within the Divine Bliss Twin Flame Union channel here. So please do that. My website is www.scriptyourdreamlife.com. And my Udemy course is Manifesting to Your True Heart's Desires. And just have a super fantastic rest of your week, and enjoy the sunshine, enjoy your spring, stepping on into summer, And I just want to say, you know, peace, love, and light to all. Have a blessed and beautiful week. Take care. Love to all.